Earth Systems 3209, Unit 5, Earth's Resources. Reference for this unit can be found in the textbook, in Chapter 21, and also in Appendix A and B of the Curriculum Guide. Unit 5, Topic 2.1. This topic will look at the different types of mines. We'll focus on identifying the different types of mining and evaluating the disadvantages and advantages associated with each type of mining. The two different types of mine include an open pit mine and an underground mine. By looking at the diagrams below, open pit mine is where surface rocks are extracted and the economic valuable minerals are extracted from the rocks that are taken from the surface. If, for example, these minerals cannot be extracted or are not from the surface or are not close to the surface, then underground mining is called upon. And in underground mining, we have tunnels that go great depths beneath the Earth's surface, and they follow the ore bodies. The first type of mining is called open pit mining. During open pit mining, more commonly called surface mining in which huge portions of earth are dug from the surface to extract the desired mineral within them, resulting in a large pit, hence open pit mining. The open pit mines are usually accessed by surface terracing, thereby allowing technological equipment such as tractors and trucks to follow the shape of the deposit. Open pit mines are used when deposits of commercially useful minerals or rocks are found near the surface. And as a result, the potential exists for considerable destruction to both the surface, soil, and vegetation, and the release of significant amounts of mine dust. This will be one of the disadvantages of operating a surface mine. The diagram below is a diagram or a picture of a surface mine. And in the surface mine you can see that a large amount of surface material has been removed, and you can see the actual terracing of the open pit by which you follow the ore body. Some impacts of open pit mines include, during the clearing phase, first, the bulldozing and preparation of the mine kills all existing floral and faunal species that is on the site. Second, the mining process itself. An open pit mine is known for its large amount of dust production, and it also produces a large amount of noise. The third impact will be chemical and toxic pollution. The chemicals and toxins released seep into the nearby water supplies and can potentially pollute water supplies in the area. Fourth impact will be soil degradation. Strong acidic or alkaline deposits begin to seep into the surrounding soil, making them useless in terms of growth of vegetation, and therefore would directly affect the animal life in the area as well. Number 5, the exposure of the pit. The exposure to weathering erodes the soil much quicker, and some soils endure mass compaction. And the sixth impact will be scree. Mining operations in mountainsides start to cut into the earth, creating a scree drop effect, where materials tend to move down slope, causing a scree. Some of the pros and cons of open pit mines include: open pit mining, in relation to underground mining, experiences lower cost, greater safety, and mechanically easier operations. So these 3 points make open pit mining the mining of choice if a choice is available to extract the ore from the ground. Surface mining is more efficient than underground mining in terms of recovery, grade control, the economy, and flexibility of operation. However, many deposits are too small or irregular and or deeply buried to be extracted efficiently by surface mining methods, and the mine must be converted into an underground operation or abandoned. For these reasons, open pit mining do have their benefits, but the impacts of open pit mining are also great. When we look at the second type of mining, this type of mining focuses on underground mining. Underground mining is done when rocks, minerals, or gemstones are too far underground and cannot be extracted economically by surface mining, or if the shape of the ore body is better suited for an underground mine. Some underground mining techniques include drift mining, slope mining, and shaft mining. These different mining techniques can be seen in the diagram to the right. So when we look at underground mining methods, we see drift mining, which moves into the surface of the earth in shafts that travel horizontally. We see slope mining, which we have a slope moving down through the ground until we get to the area of high concentration minerals, and then it will move horizontally. Or we can see shaft mining, where the material is brought to a shaft and then transported to the surface by elevators. Accessing underground ore can be achieved via a decline ramp, which is an inclined vertical shaft, or an adit that comes to the surface. If we look to the right in the diagram, we see a decline spiral ramp that basically enters at the surface and it spirals downward until it reaches great depths where the ore is actually concentrated. Then your spiral ramp could turn into a drift mine or drift shaft. Levels are excavated horizontally off the decline or shaft to access the ore body. Slopes are then excavated perpendicular or near perpendicular to the level into the ore. So underground mining basically focuses beneath the earth's surface at great depths, and with it brings some disadvantages, including safety and cost. Let's look at some examples. Focuses on the types of mining. Example number 1 reads, which type of mining process involves excavating large areas of land resulting in high levels of environmental damage? So if we read the problem carefully, we see that we're going to excavate large areas of land, and it will have a high impact on the environment. So the answer to this question would focus on open pit mines. Open pit mines excavate large areas of land, and the surface environmental conditions are dramatically affected. So our answer to the example number 1 would be A, open pit mine. Which is example number 2 reads, which is the true statement regarding underground mining operations? So if we read through our answers, they are cheaper to operate because of low-cost equipment. That answer would be false, because the cheapest way to excavate and extract ore from the ground would be surface mining. So A is incorrect. B, they cause less environmental surface damage when compared to open pit mines. That would be true, because underground mines do not affect the surface to any extent unless you get a mine collapsing, which could directly affect the surface. So the answer to this question, number 2, the statement regarding underground mining, which is true, would be B. They cause less environmental surface damage compared to open pit mines. Your turn. Take the time and complete the following question. You can pause your recording now, and the solution will be on the next slide. The question reads, what are 2 disadvantages of open pit mines? When we look at disadvantages of open pit mines, we looked at several of the impacts that open pit mining has on the surface of the earth and the environment. These can include any of the 6 that are listed below. Disadvantages are found when we clear the land for open pit mining. The mining process itself produces a lot of dust and is very noisy. Chemicals and toxic pollutions. These chemicals and toxins seep into the soil, thereby ending up in nearby water supplies. Soils are degraded, so the depletion of the soil and the degrading of the soil is very harmful when it comes to getting materials to grow, like plants and such. Exposure. The exposure to weathering erodes soil much quicker. Therefore, you get mass compaction of these areas. And if your mining is on a mountainous area, we get scree deposits, where material moves down the slope of the mountain and produces a scree deposit. Let's look at an overview of the points covered in this presentation. This presentation focuses on 2 types of mining, namely open pit mining and underground mining. The pros and cons of the 2 types of mining include open pit mining in relation to underground mining. Experience lower cost. It has greater safety, and it's basically mechanically easier operations. The surface mining is more efficient than underground mining in terms of recovery of the ore, controlling the grade of the ore that's taken out of the earth, the economy, and the flexibility of operation. However, many deposits are generally too small to extract by surface mining, and therefore must be extracted by underground mining. So these are some of the pros and cons of the 2 types of mining.